Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we got the last Yu-Gi-Oh cards from Animation Chronicle, plus some new cards coming out in Darkwing Blast. But let's go and kick it off with the final cards, the last cards for this set. So starting right off, we got Dragon Nails, which is a new equip spell card that says equip only to a dark monster. You can use this card's name. Second effect only once per turn. So the first part of it says that it gains 600 attack and it can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. The second part is, if this card is sent to the graveyard because the monster was equipped to was destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon that monster to your field. And if you do, equip this card, but banish this card when this card leaves the field. Now, interestingly enough, I think this would be pretty cool if you happen to have like Imperial Iron Wall, right? But realistically, these things are really outdated. More like they would use some like non-targeting removal that maybe doesn't destroy the card or whatever. I think this card's very interesting though. For an equip card, it's actually pretty decent. I mean, it's got stat boost, it's got some sort of prevention from it being destroyed, and then it comes back. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh has really gotten far with some of the insane card effects required for equip spells. I think it's interesting. Let me know, guys, what archetype could really make some great use out of it, because certain monsters, they get effects again once they are special summoned. Like, you can run this in so many different things. It doesn't even negate the monster's effect or anything, so could actually maybe even proc its effect when it does get special summoned, let's say, from the graveyard. So I think that's pretty good for an equip card, let's be honest here. Next up, though, we have the Thunder Ball. So we have a Dark Fiend effect, level 3, 450 attack and 400 defense points. And it says that you can only use this card's name first, second, and third effects each, once per turn each. The first part is at the start of the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. The second part is you can send one trap from your hand or from among face-down cards you control to the graveyard, destroy all other monsters in this card's column. And obviously, if you special summon it from your hand, you can just get rid of all of them instantly. That could be a really good effect. Wow. Third effect is if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by a battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you get to target one card in your graveyard to roll a 6-sided die, and if the result is 6, you get to add that card to your hand. Wow, that's another dice card. So it's a dice card, it's random, but this bonus effect of targeting any card in your graveyard, yeah, it's a 1 out of 6, but is there any cards that let you re-roll dice? Someone let me know. I know that for like the coins, there's like a second coin toss. Is there anything that like lets you re-roll dice or something like that? Next up, that we have Battle of the Sleeping Spirits. This card looks pretty cool. It's got Neos. Is that a dinosaur? Is that Conductor Tyranno? It's supposed to be like Godzilla. Okay, I get it. That's cool. Battle of the Sleeping Spirits is a new quick play spell card. Says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first part of it says each player can special summon one of their monsters that were destroyed by battle during this turn from their own graveyard in attack position. And if you special summon Alplaner Neos with this effect during this turn when it battles an opponent's monster, its attack is doubled during damage step only. Okay, so but like both the monsters have to be destroyed. I don't know if I think that is like really insane, because you'd have to like maybe crash your monsters. Maybe there's some equip card that lets you like just trade. I don't know. I don't think it's really going to be super useful unless there's some like weird combo with it. Someone let me know. But next up, we have the Morphtronic Impact Return. So this is a normal trap card. That says you can only use either this card's name's first or second effect per turn, and only once that turn. The first part of it says target up to 2 spell/traps your opponent controls. Shuffle one Morphtronic monster from your hand into the deck, and if you do, shuffle that card or cards into the deck. Second part is you can banish this card from your graveyard. The target a Morphtronic monster in your graveyard among your banished cards, supposed to summon in a defense position. I mean, honestly, Morphtronics don't really need traps. If you guys don't know, the whole Morphtronic archetype, there's a card that's like not a once per turn. It's like I think it's the new like Self-On card, basically. And you could just cycle through like almost your entire extra deck. Like, it's insane. I'll be dropping the gameplay of it very soon. So if you're new here, definitely subscribe and you'll see it very, very soon. But anyways, that's Animation Chronicle. Again, this is coming out very soon. This is June 11th, but that was the last cards revealed in Animation Chronicle 2022. Now we're in Darkwing Blast. So this is actually set to release in English in October, but Japanese are getting this very soon in July 16th. For Animation Chronicle, for the English release date, we don't even have an announcement for this. But nonetheless, yeah, let's check out the new Naturia. Yes, you heard it right, Naturia. And if you're excited about it, drop a like on it, because these guys, they came out and they did like nothing. Like, with the exception of like some of the extra deck monsters like the Barkion Beast, but like the actual Naturia archetype had no love, man. Like, I thought Naturia and Bambushu was gonna be S tier, like God tier, but you know, with Effect Fitter also, was it in Drev when it came out? But anyways, let's check out the new Naturias, man. Naturia Mole Cricket. So it's a level 1 Earth Insect effect monster, 0/0 for the stats. And it says you can use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is during the main phase. As a quick effect, you contribute this card to special summon one Naturia monster from your deck. What, any Naturia? Okay, if your opponent controls a face-up monster or monsters with the highest attack on the field, you can special summon 2. Well, you get double Naturia. Okay, what if you gave your opponent like a card? There's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards where like you can just give your opponent like a card, right? And since it has 0, literally like that's almost anything, right? Was it Santa Claus? That could like be a card. I think you have tribute your opponent's card, but like what I'm trying to say is there's cards where you just give it to your opponent, right? And then you can just summon double Naturias, any Naturias from the deck. Are there even any good Naturia targets? I almost want to just jump in just to see like the base Naturia cards. Oops, Naturia. What are the base Naturia cards? With Bambushu, you do have to tribute for it, so I guess you could get Naturia Bambushu. It wouldn't activate its effect, but maybe you can like bounce it back to your hand. But I guess I was just thinking like off the top of my head, I was like, is there any even super strong Naturias that you can special from the deck? We have, I guess, what does Stag be able to do during the battle or damage step this card attacks? When your opponent activates a card effect, you can select one Naturia monster in graveyard and special summon it. I still think it's probably really mediocre at the end of the day. I was hoping that there's like level 8 Naturias that no one would ever go for, but I don't know. I guess Bamboo Shoot might be like a good card. Let me know if there's another level 5. The effect of Naturia monster you control was activated during this turn. You can special summon this card from your hand. Yeah, I don't know if there's any like good Naturias yet. Maybe there's gonna be more later in this, but like just special summoning 2 from any archetype, it seems OP broken, but like not so broken probably Naturias. The second part is, though, if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, or you special summon a Naturia monster or monsters from the extra deck while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. Wow, that's actually pretty good. Granted, it's probably not going to survive via battle, but remember, this is during the main phase. This is a quick effect, and if this card, you know, just goes away and it's just there, you special summon a quick effect, bust out double Naturias to block, and I think some of the Naturia, like, was it Cherries? There's a few Naturia cards that are floaters, right? I think that there is a Naturia, was it Stone Wall or something like that? Was it? Oh, Cliff, this guy. Yeah, this is when this card is starting from the field of the graveyard, you special summon. Okay, so they do have like some stuff to stall, but stall in 2022 is kind of hard to stall out with like floaters, right? But nonetheless, still a pretty decent card. Next up, we have Naturia Camellia with level 4 Earth Plant effect. Okay, now we're getting a tuner monster, so it's level 4. It's Earth, so you know it's making Naturia Beast. 1400 attack, 700 defense points. Says you can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is if this card is normal or special summon, you get to send a Naturia card from your deck to the graveyard. Second part is if you would tribute a monster or monsters to activate a Naturia monster's effect, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard instead. Okay, that would be really good. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm just always thinking about Bambushu because I still think that card has some potential, man. As long as you can get out, like, Bow of the Goddess plus that, then, like, you basically shut down your opponent. For those guys that don't know, like, because I've mentioned Naturia Bambushu twice, this card is actually pretty good. So, if this card is tribute summoned by tributing a Naturia monster while this card remains face up on the field, your opponent cannot even activate spell traps, not negating the effects of them. They can't even activate it. That is so incredibly good. Obviously, monster effects are the most important thing, but, like, a lot of stuff will stop, you know, from breaking boards. Like, if you make that card and you have a Bow of the Goddess, it's a little bit more difficult for your opponent to come back from it, right? But nonetheless, pretty good stuff indeed. And then if your opponent normals or special summons a monster, you can special summon a Naturia monster from your graveyard. I mean, they're really giving Naturias a lot of, like, decent cards. Next up, though, we have Naturia Spring Breeze, which is a quick play spell card that has activate one of these effects. Special summon a Naturia monster from your hand or graveyard. Other effect is immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using monsters you control, including at least one Naturia monster. The fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion material, including at least one Naturia monster. So, I mean, this could be like okay too, like in combination with being able to get the double monsters, right? You get those double monsters, then you can instantly go for whatever synchro that you want to go for. But I don't know if it's just going to be that viable. I think we need like better like boss monsters that aren't from the extract from Naturia for like the targets for like being able to get out double. At least that's my thoughts on it. Next up though, we got some other Vernalizer fairies, which is actually quite interesting that we're getting support for this. But anyways, starting off, these are fairies. I thought these were going to be like plants at the very beginning when just seeing the arc. But Vera, the Vernalizer Fairy Goddess, which is a fairy effect, level 8, 2400 attack, 3000 defense points. And it says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of it says you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, take control control of it, and if you do, it becomes Earth. Second part is during your opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can target one Earth monster in your graveyard and special summon it. The third part is once per turn, while you control 5 or more Earth monsters, you can negate any monster effect activated by your opponent. If you do, just shred that monster. Wow, that's a pretty decent effect, but like controlling 5 Earths? So I thought it was going to be like you can just keep on using the effect infinitely, and I was like, okay, it's going to be OP. But like just one negate, I mean, still is better than nothing considering it has all these other effects, right? Next up, we have Vernalizer, Fairy of the Seething and Haze, which is a level 3 fairy effect. 400 attack, 800 defense points, and it says you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part of it is you can discard this card and one other monster or Vernalizer Fairy card to add one Earth Fairy monster from your deck to your hand, except for Vernalizer Fairy of Seething and Haze. Then you could special summon one Earth monster from your graveyard. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn, except for Earth monsters. Second part is all Earth, oh no, this is just all monsters on the field lose 600 attack, except for Vernalizer Fairy monsters. Okay, next up we have the field spell for them called Flower Bloom of the Vernalizer Fairy, which is a field spell that says you can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is all monsters you control gain 1000 attack while you control 5 or more Earth monsters. The second part is you can banish one Vernalizer Fairy and Flower Buds from your hand or graveyard to source one Vera, the Vernalizer Fairy Goddess, from your deck. The third part is if a Vernalizer Fairy monster is special summoned from your graveyard, you can target one monster on the field or in either graveyard and return it to the hand. Okay, decent little support over there. But let me know, guys, what you thought of all of the new Yu-Gi-Oh cards down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're newer, don't want to miss out on more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the future, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and you'll definitely see more very soon. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.